This is Anne Green, and welcome to We've Got Books. And boy, do we ever. I'm an author of 40 books, many of them award winners. I'm coming to you from the big sky country of the Dallas-Fort Worth area of Texas, where the stars at night are big and bright, and we've got great football. I'll be your host for We've Got Books, and I'm excited to be connecting with you. I delight in telling you about my newest books, as well as interviewing other exciting Christian fiction writers about their books. My goal is to introduce you to some great Christian fiction. Together, we'll focus on getting to know authors and discover why we write books. We'll discuss fiction of different genres. I have something for everyone. Have you ever read a sensational book and wondered about the author who wrote it? We'll sit around the table chatting to get to know each author and how her book was created. So sit back and enjoy this scintillating ride into the literary world. Today, I'm interviewing Stephanie King. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Stephanie.
Thank you. I love to travel, sew, play mahjong, garden, and do outsidey things like reading in a hammock and floating in the pool, which are not to be confused with outdoorsy things like hiking and camping. I have 2 sons and a daughter in between. Their ages are 22, 20, and 18. My husband Brent and I have been married for going on 24 years, and he recently retired. So between that and us about to become empty nesters, we are still trying to rediscover who we are as a couple.
Lovely. I feel like I know you already. Do you have an interesting family story you'd like to share with our listeners?
I do. So my son and I took skydiving lessons together on his 18th birthday. And when we solo jumped, I stepped out of the plane with my shoe untied. And when I got close to the ground, I was so focused on what my legs needed to do that I forgot to pull down on the handles, which are the brakes of the parachute. And I landed on my face. And thanks to my legs pedaling the way they were supposed to, it was the one and only time I've ever done the splits. So needless to say, athleticism is not something I possess in any measurable quantity.
So funny. I hope you were not hurt. I would say you may not be an athlete, but you are brave. So, on to books. How long have you been writing?
I've always written, but about 4 years ago, I quit my job teaching high school biology to pursue writing full-time and to complete my first novel.
Only 4 years ago. Okay. What sort of Christian fiction do you write?
I call it mom-com, but the official category is contemporary women's fiction.
Many of our listeners love to read contemporary women's fiction. So which one of your books are we discussing today?
Fellowship of the Frazzled Moms.
I love the title. How many other books have you written?
I've written 3 in the Frazzled Moms series, and I'm working on a 4th that's currently not part of the series.
So, what is Fellowship of the Frazzled Moms takeaway?
That motherhood is hard and beautiful, and we need each other to get through it.
I would sure agree with that. Does Fellowship of the Frazzled Moms have a theme?
It does. Family and the strength of community.
I love community being added to family. So many writers tell me that writing is great fun for them. I'm wondering, is writing fun for you?
Oh, yes, it is. Writing reminds me of playing pretend when I was a kid. I always wanted to be the one in charge, telling my friends and brothers what to do and how to do it, and writing gives me that power without getting me into trouble for being too bossy. It's also really fun when I get to see someone else laugh or get excited at parts that they're reading in things that I wrote.
This is the first time I've heard that answer, and I find it intriguing. I know our listeners would like to hear some of the details of Fellowship of the Frazzled Moms.
Oh, I'm so glad you asked. So, Dana and Josie are neighbors in different stages of motherhood. Josie is new to the game with triplet infants, and she's isolated and a little shell shocked from how much of her life has changed in such a short time. She also wrestles with the conflicting thoughts that this is what she spent so long praying for, and she should be more thankful. But instead, she finds herself overwhelmed and too exhausted to appreciate her blessings some days. Dana has a teenager, a tween, and an active 8-year-old who hasn't found his indoor voice yet. Her kids are becoming more independent, so Dana longs to rediscover her passion for writing. However, between carpool and dealing with her aging father's issues, she struggles to find time to write. Her own weariness leads her to jump to conclusions in her marriage and to resort to B-team parenting, I like to call it. Together, Dana and Josie build a network of moms who help one another in times of crisis and ultimately change their community.
I would think a lot of moms would really enjoy a get together like that. That's truly an interesting peek into Fellowship of the Frazzled Moms. I think moms everywhere will enjoy reading your book. So, who is your favorite character?
That would be Dana's father, Edward. He's grumpy, but he's sweet, and he blesses the people around him as much as he wears them out.
I know that even writing contemporary novels, we writers do some research. Did you learn anything you didn't already know during your research for Fellowship of the Frazzled Moms?
I did. The cool thing about contemporary fiction is that there's not a ton of research needed, but I read up on dementia and aging cognition and the effects of grief on our bodies and minds. And the biologist in me felt a deep need to get that information right.
The knowledge doctors have today regarding dementia and aging changes almost daily, so it is important to keep us up to date. Now that you've piqued our listeners' interest, they often ask me to have the author read the back cover copy of the book being spotlighted. So I know they would like to hear the back cover copy of Fellowship of the Frazzled Moms.
Thank you. Here it is. Some say it takes a village to raise a child, but what if it only takes a cul-de-sac? After 15 years of raising her own kids, Dana is now lending a hand to her neighbor, a new mom of triplets, who is drowning in diapers and self-doubt. Dana's is a charmed, albeit loud and chaotic, life until she discovers her disoriented father on a peculiar neighborhood caper, and her husband is nowhere to be found when she needs his help. Now she must get to the bottom of her dad's mental decline and solve the mystery of her husband's sudden preoccupation with his career. As if Josie weren't already frazzled by caring for 3 infants, a family engagement spearheaded by her controlling mother sends her into a tailspin. She and Dana join forces across their cul-de-sac to build a community of moms in the same boat, desperate for support and sisterhood. Before long, one mom's simple act of crossing the street sparks change for an entire West Texas community.
Well, I can't wait to read Fellowship of the Frazzled Moms. Our listeners beg my guests to read an excerpt of the book. Would you please?
Sure, I'll read the first couple of pages. Executives in corner offices had nothing on housewives working at their kitchen counters, nor did they have a handy roll of paper towels within arm's reach. Dana Harding had just uploaded her suspense story to her creative writing class's message board. She took a self-congratulatory sip of coffee when she eyed an embarrassing typo she had missed. What should have read, "She watched his chest rise and fall with each shallow, labored breath," instead said, "shallow, labeled breast." Dana gasped, spewing coffee on her keyboard. When her writing professor challenged her to put a body on the first page, she doubted he meant the kind with labeled breasts. "No," she coughed. The race was on to save her laptop from shorting out as she thrust a wad of paper towels on its keys, knocking over her coffee mug in the process. Seriously? Brown liquid baptized the computer and waterfalled over the edge of the counter. Harvey, the Bernese mountain dog, all too happily lapped at the puddle on the tile floor, while coffee continued to drip on his head. Dana lunged for more paper towels, mentally apologizing to the planet for her wastefulness, just as the screen on her laptop flickered and went dark. No amount of random key tapping revived it. Time of death, 9:29 a.m. She dropped onto a bar stool and buried her head in her hands. Why did everything have to be so hard? After years of sacrificing her career and her dreams for her family, all she wanted was an activity of her own. Writing reminded her that she had talents beyond finding lost items and grilling the perfect cheese sandwich. It was proof she could be more than just a middle-aged mom of 3 kids. Dana secretly dreamt of writing crime novels, and she joined this class hoping it would be her stepping stone to literary greatness. Before today, the longest thing she had written since becoming a mother was an apology letter to Adam's teacher when he presented his athletic cup from Taekwondo for show and tell. The short story she'd just submitted was the exact pivot she'd been waiting for, a sinister tale with an undercurrent of wit. She'd been so proud of it, too, right up until she hit send and realized her massive spell check fail. At least if her husband Will killed her for breaking the laptop, she wouldn't have to face her class tomorrow night. Dana pulled her phone from her pocket and searched nearby computer repair shops and noticed 2 missed texts. The first was from the pastor's wife, Serena. I have a proposition for you. Let's grab coffee ASAP. The second was from the pharmacy. 2 prescriptions for Edward Johnson are ready to pick up. Serena could wait. She probably needed a sub in the preschool department at church, and Dana didn't have the bandwidth for that right now. She checked her phone again. There was one of those computer places near the pharmacy. Maybe after she ran her dad's errands, she would take him to lunch and get him out of the house. He hadn't been the same since he lost her mother to pancreatic cancer last year. Even though Dana's plans had taken an unexpected turn, maybe an outing would do them both some good. She wrapped the computer in a towel, grabbed her purse, and headed out.
Well, that was really funny. You had me laughing.
Thank you.
Is there a movie or TV show reminiscent of your book?
The movies Mom's Night Out and Steel Magnolias are pretty good comps, without the death of a main character, of course.
Good choices. Those are both such popular movies. I'm sure your book will be a bestseller. So, Stephanie, do you have a newsletter or a website?
Yes, thank you for asking. It's stephaniepageking.com, and that's StephaniePaigeking. And there I post short devotionals and book recommendations.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to tell your listeners?
Thank you for creating a space for books like mine that are light and funny and won't keep you up at night. The world needs all kinds of Christian fiction stories. And if you like them, please pay it forward. The kindest thing you can do for authors is to leave reviews, preferably good ones, but honest is always best, so other readers can find our books.
I so agree, Stephanie. A writer really depends so much on reader reviews, and they are so easy to do. Just go to the book on Amazon and click on the number of stars you think the book deserves, remembering no book is perfect. But how much did you enjoy it? And you will be taken to a place where you can write a quick review. Well, once again, our time has whizzed by. We hope you've enjoyed your time with us as much as Stephanie and I enjoyed having you. Join us next week when we interview well-known author Anne Green. That's me. Discussing my historical novel, Trail of Tears, the story of John Ross. Listeners, we're so glad you joined us. Be sure to go to buzzsprout.com. That's BUZZSPROUT.com and listen to our 50 other podcasts on We've Got Books. You can find our podcasts on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, or your favorite podcast host. Or you can go to my website, AnneGreenAuthor.com. That's ANNEGREENE author.com, and click on the podcast tab. So this is Anne Green with Stephanie King saying goodbye for now, and read a good book. We hope you'll choose one of our fabulous books from We've Got Books. Keep exploring the world through reading. Reading reduces stress, sparks new ideas, and improves your vocabulary. So keep reading. See you next time.